Mamimrana Fienche, but the microphone is still down. Pigeon Kakraka. Fantastic. Now, Afi, you remain so many preliminary comments and son Afi about your main issues.
Nidi came, I mean, chair, a chief for you, and I'm chair the Republic of Gamaga for you.
Sure.
Now, mean chair, your senior VMate be. Maybe say you didn't come on Facebook, but
okay.
Menini Shadanshire,
okay.
VMate Makisco Ufosu. Is one of our seniors.
Oh, okay.
And your car VMate. They are the true VMates. Wherever they find a VMate, they appear. And the senior, where they Medawasi, and we two Fubi. And different from the new copy. Is it a new copy or the content is new? I be because then they say I can't.
When you updated one, the same green book.
Yeah, that pictures woman.
And I said,
no, me bisa.
Of course, it's new ball sometimes. I very diabolical.
Una watch it. Me see the pictures woman and be. What is here? Maybe this is the abridged version. But
the question is, why did you bring it today, Adam? Why today of all? The Wabaha. And also, more than 50 times. One for a green book, man.
And then we do.
Anyway, now Maminda Obibiara officer, you know, we can be good representatives in the House of Parliament. The mere fact that person actually recognizes that you can have some utility to the work of Parliament, you know, is humbling enough. And sometimes sometimes, you know, we yansu yetiminya no wrong. And I'm excited. There are friends that sometimes when they feel you've gone, you know, out of range, they reach out to you as we see away dear maybe you can see. I mean, Nina Ebwa, until you do be a OTA, Jumedia, OTA, and Jumedia, any the kinds of contributions are yen. Me, I always say some of these platforms, it's not just an opportunity to express views. It's also a huge opportunity to learn. There are times I'm telling you, because Nomuti and Nomunim the change. You know, a lot of the time they remind us and they guide us. And yet there'll be as it. Omukahuna Jumadino Econin.
But who decides in France or contest as a member of parliament or constituency? Gamba is Gambaga a constituency? What's the name of the constituency?
It's Gambaga Nalerugu.
Gambaga Nalerugu constituency.
Yeah.
Okay. Who is the MP now?
Papa be a friend Alaji Baba.
Or NDC and MPP?
Or NDC.
Alaji Baba.
Yeah, he unseated Aja Alima.
On city. On the Aja Alima your constituency.
She used to be my MP.
Your MP. Oh, okay.
She used to be my MP, yeah.
Okay. That's
oh, nice. It's an interesting constituency. And Yami Aduma, once VMates supports a young no. You know, the rest of colonies, you know, would want to protest. But wherever you find a VMate, you'll be I ought to know. Because we always provide leadership. Yeah, you know, we set the pace, we show leadership in everywhere we find ourselves. Oh, yes. And Chenyamia Aduma, there will be a VMate to lead that republic. Another constituency.
It's very important.
Very.
It's very important.
Now, Mami Fawe and Mami, you went through hotel. Then we'll come to the main issues. Okay, and the issues about overstayed CEOs and other public servants. My research has shown that this is becoming pervasive.
Like Omwa
recycling of retirees. It's unacceptable.
Suppose retirees
no retirees are not supposed. Almost the 60 came.
Omonya contract.
No people contracts, but once they now we dey no refund no
contract. Okay.
No new one yamani be.
Oh no, after staying on for 1 year without contract, no. Say Abe, you know, as the new commissioner general, which means a new contract now.
Are you presuming and I said the man and pamper? Because
I am assuming because we know who
exactly. My question is your money be and
I'm a retroactive way. No, because I know the doing who baby. Local government service.
Local government service is Atwata, not Atwata.
Well, retirement or 30 years after retirement.
In the 63 years?
Yes.
But he has a contract?
I suppose so. This is the third time I are renewing the contract. Now it's about the third time. Me, I don't see why we keep recycling retirees. We keep saying, oh, yeah, say, how do you do that when you keep recycling retirees? Sebi, he's had some worth of experience. But that's all about it. It's not as if he
he's
grew.
lawyer, right?
No, he's an engineer.
No, he's an engineer.
Okay.
What
Engineer
has
and a PhD holder.
Okay.
What is it? I think, sir, it's about time we gave Mebununu the opportunity. I'm not saying, sir, discard the experience of the old. But oyena femu diene odruwa mano kwano onko munja no kwano onko vie. So you can allow as many people as possible to also rise to that height. But to keep recycling retirees and there are so many more of such. Look, there are career local service personnel and our public servants or more local service in the moon. Some of them ABA or Kofi and they would have also risen to that to say apex, But one man now you keep renewing and giving him extra contract and so on. When indeed he should be at home having a good rest. As some who should have risen to the apex, they don't get the opportunity, and it's discouraging to career public servants. What is here? I'm not saying that when somebody has a great deal of experience, officer way or Kovia, maybe was Shebi BSc own year, and you feel that your man 1 year, 2 years, or bet me the years project no come. But Obia Sabi, there's nothing really at stake. Near and say is a political appointee, and young Kofi the also and says Kofi.
But is there a nexus between
performance and overstay?
Performance, any age and experience, no nexus be
no. As for
for example, is there data to show say CEOs no more relatively young, no, omonya some good performer. For example, public service you can talk NLA with a very young person, Samir Uku as Director General, the current ECGMD in his 40s.
I'm yet to see. I have not researched. I have not found any empirical study.
Mustafa Hamid.
No, Mustafa
Obedi 50.
He's in his 50s.
Yeah.
No, he's really there in that category.
We just have to establish.
I think, sir, in Ghana, I'm sure there should be studies empirically to establish that relationship. But I really haven't bothered to look for that age and then output in public office. Maybe there are studies. If there aren't, that's a good research question for somebody. Or maybe when I'm free, I can explore what you say. But Usha, beyond the relationship between age and output as a public servant, near me can say, first you are discouraging career public servants.
Sure.
Once these people are top CEOs, mostly they are political appointees.
Yeah, they are.
What is here? And woman you give the impression say
also be a politics
and sana with me what is here. And secondly, maybe no more parties in mono. If the old don't go and take a rest, how then do they become CEOs too? Almost say or maybe in other areas, but at least Nipano we or this 60 year the person has served. And a lot of the time, some of these CEOs are almost 60 and beyond. And you say they are career servants in that sector, no. Free baby na their background sometimes are even different than as for what you say. But essence said, as for policy implementation,
he has been in the system.
He was a DCE and MCE.
Nana Tuatha has been
MP and MCE at some point.
Deputy Minister Central Region, and I think he became substantive minister Central Region.
I think that's how he started. Well, I'm not
know
sure.
him to be an MP.
I think with local government, as a background,
no, he does.
No, the PhD,
the PhD research is in local.
Exactly. I know he has something in.
Yeah, he does.
But I'm just saying generally, and you're beyond in the background, a year BB and But of course, if you are CEO, usually it's not about your background per se, because those is to implement policy. You have people, technocrats to help you and the rest of it. But I'm just saying, Nipano do 60 years. Unless BB Shrunkune Wawa, SSA. You recycle for a year or two. I mean, we need to let them go home. And as a AI phenomenon under Akufo-Addo administration, to the extent that Democrat to while after time and more contracts, it's just it discourages. It doesn't set good examples for the kind of governance system now. And it discourages hard work. So who said the Babu Juma said then Udru Amaza for politician be crab best or call time and cry some extensions and as I say because civil service and public they are delicate, services are as I say.
Okay, and I'm told sir Nana Atwatha was MC for KE.
That's what I
before
know.
He became deputy regional minister.
Yeah,
he became member of parliament. Yeah. And then I think substantive regional minister.
Okay.
At a point.
MP I know, MC I know.
Yeah, he was MP.
Yeah,
he was MP. I think he won after Dr. Papa Kwesindum. He won for the. No. There was
Summertime was number 2. No.
Summertime was number 2.
Or no,
but before Papa Kwesindum, Dr. Annan.
No,
Dr. Annan of the NDC came. And Nana
Atwata. We are talking about after.
No, after Indum.
After Indum he came, Atwata, 2008. He was, he had returned.
After Indum was who?
Dr. Annan.
And not
Dr. Annan became education minister, deputy, under Mills. Mills' first term. Now, but you know about you say white. And he won.
Yeah, okay.
He won from Indum. And Nana Atwata be 2, no. And Samatame also be 2.
Oh, so he was deputy to Alex Tetenyo, right?
Alex Tetenyo. Alex Tetenyo, yes. Okay. Inti no. But lawyer akwa be te saying.
Obi nyame hwe. Egusu akra be nde.
Da nyame ase.
Simbi aboko de.
Abdumi ya obi.
Fresh nde egusu ye kwa ba nyina ye. Egusu ye kwa sa. Manfo keka.
Lawyer Chumberema.
Manfo keka.
No we brutal.
We brutal nezo kana manfo pejo mti. What kind of for well, I think in Congo I know the young. Me and I share with him in a way, sir. As I never into the Yamana can say, you will aid be a compulsory retirement. Yeah, and I mean, you're in the account. That's an American. The one doing your draw, you say compulsory as a open point, just already. Would do so.
Yes.
Now, I do a reason can say, oh, okay, but the Telebiana ABB back community being Tino. You will tell what I can not so crown. I'm running here and a bind of John said, Debbie. Oh, man, yes, I was going to be a transaction to get me the cap. Now, I have to muda. Tenants to get in few number account. In few news crown as I can in few news crown. And in few news in few news in our yes. Yet, Mamba, I maybe you crowd. Nabacro so coffee and Nana can was anchor. You tell me, no means I can win.
Yes.
Yet, Mammy, never once I can. I mean, it depends. And there won't be more woman 2-1 without any 2-2 or whatever. And that they only won't come baby a cotton fee.
Yes.
But I was a mechanic, my son will begin and say, Nina Achin, so a buying way by, and also John say, for a reason best known to them, almost a okay, and so crown as I do, as I was on the enemy. I don't want to go to myself and send 2 years tension to grab you. That is a beer, a cognac. And I said, Dibia, ye no be and the ending as a tran as a martown, and no exception, dear, a because I'm water. But you don't want a better beckham, Obi. And yet, dear, Ninsia name on the pen, Edne. And dear, Sabi, Nana Atwata, Yan insanity. Nanso, Minin is a subject of righteous, and they are not like us, a dead man in Punu, maybe more. Yen is the name. What the first station you got to change? You find some awkward desires to make a man be a mini system, but make a major like some of us said, you desire somebody in your beam. So we'll be at us. All people are still there working.
Dr.
So what I say. So, and I know one come up to now, he's still not even 60.
He's not close to 60.
So what I say. He's not even still 60. And you know, it could have been so, but a band of sounds was saying, you've been your name now. So only me.
But somebody says, Obi, apart from Dr. Callistos, the local government service has always been using retirees.
And yet you see,
how does the person mean?
Oh, ain't
anybody be every one
now, only 60, no. Was it almost all the other bosses have had the honor? Oberhena with this 60 near a contract where they
and when you go to a can say, we understand one, Obi. You mean the moon say, who sit to do no coin? Because I had to then year through. And I won't do so, what's a woman calling him? And the end, yeah, do it about every day. You didn't prove you. So automatically, we are all going to, I mean, I'm told your line, as in being behind you.
Yeah.
So what I said, you didn't go and yes, I intimate. because employment ladder no such a way that you cannot drop, rather you climb. It's position me kuta and me prekomenim. Like suddenly here when the profile once an MC or deputy minister at some point as you were saying, and now MP Grand Post at some point. Do you know so was minister and deputy nimpo? Who deputy now for even alcohol? Who minister? Won't even think of from you. Obi bia na lady bia is it Dakwa Newman or something?
Dakwa Newman.
Good. This lady is very lucky because what it means is that you are not buying a position for some back. Who to be deputy minister? Almost have an appointment as some minister. But one deputies, no, Sunday.
I see you.
Oh no! I need
CEO is different.
CEO is different.
CEO they be at the crossing.
Oh, of course. I know the. When Mustafa Ahmed was a minister and is now a CEO.
Not necessarily.
No.
Yes, share structure there.
So I can say and the CEO no share as a minister, but I can assure you say
subordinate.
Oh, no,
no,
positions.
No, all sectors are equal.
Where they say, conditions of service.
If you are, they generate money by themselves.
Oh, of course, and most of them. Yes, most of them. I mean, the likes of the GPHAs, the MPs, the GMPC, they all generate. They generate money for themselves.
Conditions of service, you better saying.
Absolutely, send the money attractive.
Yeah, because we are CEO of a state agency now. 70,000 Ghana cedis a month.
Yeah.
And
that is who salary. I like budget send and printable ones now.
70,000 Ghana cedis.
700 million. But these are
who go to choir travel allowance per
BG more than that.
Oh, so of course, 70,000 year average. Average in the CEO. Yeah, because again, most of them are not paid through the consolidated fund. They don't come under.
Ken Fraser wanted to do something, but I'm saying Ken wanted to bring them down because he was trying. At some point, he agreed to say, I didn't say, "Woman, I did pay even the president." But I think he wanted to try something, but I'm because so I was doing how could deep with idea, and you make a say, because the number one person who did no. Now, no appointments.
Is it 7?
No, they are all servants.
No, but
they are all servants.
The president doesn't
And
money.
number one person, or Tiakunyam, so I wouldn't mean for an court.
That's the point.
CEO no, I no bit me CEO.
I'm an alcohol.
I know one transfer bonds. That you be free so much.
No, but
you mean it's the
first 3 years ni twem
no. Send me na but I can't have the story.
Oh,
we are them. I mean,
general conversation.
Every day be
what's the one
appointment?
What's about veterans?
I was saying, how are you ever come?
I said, we have a retirement colossal.
No, yet, now,
you will be
oh,
so and
No, but I mean, so one thing, the danger for me, when you've gone through the Public Services Commission, you are employed in some of these parastatals. Because depending on which government is in power, you would have most likely an outsider coming to head that institution. In the career progression for more and more inside.
Another problem.
You cannot dream big. If you are in there, they say, and Mako says SNIT.
Yeah.
Now, me dream, they say, I want to become Director General of SNIT. It's almost non-existent.
No, you're
but only
director. You can't become director.
But Obi and honest working. You're going to say, and not yet. And put Evans be as our group now, woman at the farm. Evans be a 10. And attend 7 young people, Munquacha, to a point that Munina to do the level of directors.
Not all of you can be directors.
What do you ever say? Munina going to be directors. Automatically,
no, but what I'm saying is, for somebody for you, it's likely, say, by the time I be mobile directors, for the whole period, I'm more direct at the time because at every point in that there's a political appointee who will come as DG, and that's the point I'm making.
Yeah, I agree. It's the same with foreign service.
Yes.
I am totally against this idea of having politicians as diplomats.
Career diplomats.
Some of them.
No, career diplomats. Yes, you leave
yeah.
majority of them.
Oh,
You leave career diplomats, and then you go and pick politicians to become diplomats, to become ambassadors.
I think I'm the so career diplomats, in fact, be brave ambassadors.
Some, not all of them.
Be brave. What happens is, there were certain countries, and they mostly no, are political appointees.
Many of Burkina,
so United
a political
States,
appointee.
The president has the discretion.
I'm not disputing that. Near me can say.
Yeah.
And this started with President Kufuor. We used not to have politicians becoming ambassadors. President Kufuor na dibaye. What is here? And career diplomats, they are trained. We have FSOA. The kind of training they go through, no, they get posted, they learn experiences.
Oh yeah, that one is true.
So that you and your ultimate, if you are an FSO, ultimate dream is to be ambassador.
I think having been in that role, I am telling you, say career diplomacy nyebi kra.
Because
and I make sure say, go and check the record.
Okay, this is data now.
I'm not saying data, but I'm saying
which of them is in the majority?
So,
career diplomats and politicians.
Yeah, well, I think you're about.
Okay, let me get the detail
80
for you.
missions or so. I have to check them
around the world.
Around the world.
Yes.
Yeah, check it.
So Germany is political.
Yeah,
for instance, Germany political.
Canada,
America,
even Burkina.
Even for example, Japan was political, but then Mimi free or Nipa then they call Madame Genevieve Palu or a career typically
diplomat. But China is political.
Yeah, so
South African is political. I'm saying I'm not saying not all. I'm not saying all of them are politicians, but majority are politicians.
No. We can check the data on that.
Those that we are even mentioning.
About 10 now. Does that mean we cover everything?
But tell me, apart from the Oka, I know Ethiopia
can extempore.
Ambassador to Ethiopia, and it's because of AU no career diplomat. Apart from Ethiopia, mission in Ethiopia, because of AU you need a career diplomat. What I say. Apart from any Japan.
Yeah,
now said
I know Angola too.
That was about 3 years.
I know Angola. I don't know if she's been recalled, but the woman in Angola too is a career diplomat. But you can.
Okay, Cameron into.
But which of them are in the majority?
Lawyer,
you cannot introduce a topic.
Oh no, so
come this way.
Research.
And I am telling you because I've seen me with the messenger. I'll get the detail and I'll share it with you. Majority of them are politicians.
But my point is, what is wrong if majority are politicians?
Because when you say diplomacy is a specialized area. What I say, they train even how you eat.
Yes,
you are trained. Yeah, we have run diplomatic etiquette. How you to even eat. I mean, I've had the chance of doing something at Lesia.
Yes,
I did a master's in Lesia. Look, how you even eat, you are trained. What you must say, how you negotiate, it requires specialized skills. I train you to do.
Yeah.
What you must say,
yes.
And that is why Ubeka in South Africa there was some issue. Ambassador can say Oka and Zambia and Anka and say Oka.
They don't want Ashanti region.
Absolutely. Because if you had the FSOs, look, if you've had an engagement with diplomats, there are times move go through your example lift. Ombe jina ma lift na kwa basa because who is senior who when they say Oma we it's a different area.
But the other thing, so they say, if you also look at granted, say, omoye politicians, but the quality of the people who are appointed as ambassadors, would you also?
We are talking about this idea of discouraging people.
No, I agree. I agree. But the Americans say, if you look at the major diplomatic countries around the world, into US of A, the ambassador there now, Hajia Alima, Oko UK, Papo Uswankoma. Canada Ayikwe Otu until recently.
Now I don't know who is there, but
Oko Germany Gina Blay, Oko France.
Just you are mentioning the names.
Oko France, former Shraj, Mami
Bosman,
Anna Bosman, the France.
Oh, okay.
These
used to be. Well, she wasn't a politician.
Yes,
it used to be Mrs.
But these are seasoned politicians who can fit the bill, and they fit it well. And
you see, it's just like telling me, sir. Because I'm a politician,
yes,
I can become you can say an advisor on petroleum. Because I was seasoned politician, and you be the same, and you be the minimum.
Okay.
And you see, like I'm saying, there are some areas that require specialized training. When you look, and when you go to these multilateral meetings, for example, let's say WTO, there are times you go and you don't even find the Ghanaian delegation. The reason is that Nipana Yedini Kono, or no Sebi, and yen area and Shadam Fanusa, and the expertise to even do it to me a problem. What must I say?
I think
mostly for WTO, they thought you'll be required. The person should be.
Mostly the heads of delegations are politicians. So. As a okay, mostly your delegations are led by your trade minister.
Okay,
and things like that.
Kofi.
Look, career diplomats, a year a Juma Sronko and the Boa mine, they sacrifice their time, their lives, etc. Usually, we about 4 postings to 4 different continents. Oko Nwaba.
Yes.
Say, we drew A1. Na me be wa dom. We be a director kakra space beto ho ya ambassador. So what I say. From me kakra me hu ye no. At least the time I was there, the engagement, several of them are.
Ajebe was not a career diplomat.
He was a politician.
Ajebe was a diplomat under Kufo made him an ambassador, but he was a politician.
But he wasn't a
career diplomat.
He was not
a career diplomat.
I don't know what US no.
Yeah, he wasn't a career. He just happened
politician.
Why ambassador twice to different countries.
That doesn't make him a career diplomat.
Career diplomat.
Yeah.
Sanity. Yawo empanyufo bebre omo ye diplomat kra bia wonu say bompata hen say career diplomat.
Oh sir.
Yes.
Dia escape me kakra.
Bompata.
Oh okay.
Bompata hen, yeah. So the point is there are excellent career diplomats, Matapobi, several of them are Akufo-Addo hankasa appoint bebre across the world.
I think we just need the data.
Yes,
get the but I'm saying I'm not saying all of them.
The point that I'm making is that from what I know,
yes,
Obi, there are certain places you need certain people to be there. And but there are certain places depending on what direction our person will call. And then near maybe our person will achieve no. There are certain people you want to be at certain places. The world over. They all do it. Go and check. Even Barack Obama, some of the people he appointed. And see, the point is, you're making sure say one more or sacrificing their whole career for diplomacy. No? A good chunk of them will be rewarded for their excellent work.
So comparatively, what they are only missions in America. My quick question: other countries, say the UK, and America, do they send careers?
Almost send the career diplomats.
No,
I just told you.
Some of them are politicians. Okay.
Some of them are politicians. They don't send.
Okay.
It's just a few.
Make us say even for
few is relative.
No, you see, you can mention them. Obama had an appointment. Even Biden. Has one of he was very involved in their campaigns. He's an ambassador to I think is it Israel or something like that. They have few, but Omuno, you can count them. There has never been a time. Ghana is a strategic partner of the US. Almost any politician by Ghana had that. No, I'm coming because all of them.
Oh, okay.
Majority of them. And the reason why I'm saying this is because I've asked this question before to the embassy. We were having some engagements, and do they also send out politicians as
diplomats?
It is when the president decides 1 or 2 places where I need to send Asumesi because of the expertise of. No, it is one of it's not the norm. What is it?
Say in their system, to say Israel. Israel's relevance and
America.
importance to America is a big deal.
Yeah.
In the only American president would want somebody virginity and not just a career diplomat to go there. In much the same vein, maybe in Ghana, no.
Maybe
Yeah, so-
Burkina. I'm coming. Let me just cite you examples.
Yes.
Burkina.
I
Ambassador or a politician.
I think.
Oh, maybe I'm
No, maybe. You see, sometimes
discretionary.
That's
I
not
don't
Burkina.
stress
He's
it.
talking about relevance of the country. to your
Burkina,
interest.
so in toast. in toast.
Obi. Me am a yarena. I think you want me.
Yeah, me too.
Share Obi.
Who lobby to become ambassador?
What Ghana is to America is not what America is to Ghana. Don't get it
That's true.
twisted.
Yes.
Don't ever get it twisted. The fact say you want reciprocity no nkyerɛ say the way American government be send the ambassador aba no that
yes,
same
Ghana.
weight
Yeah.
and a Ghana aba be gyina so send the ambassador.
Or the kind of person.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Sir, America aba send the ambassador aba. Aha. Na bi o send the ambassador akọ UK. Ana China.
You're never going to move do change.
I won't even use the word emudu.
In a way.
But the point is, I just want to be very diplomatic. So, enti no nyama ni bi wo ha. Me hwe ne tra keke sa.
But I am also thinking, say, and said Kofi Wuka, a lot of the points you've made now are true. Where I think maybe team. The microphones are like the American say, can we then agree because countries are in the Committee of Nations no we are very strategic for every other country.
Yeah.
Into US,
America, sorry, UK,
Germany,
France,
Japan, China.
The G7 countries.
Almost all, in fact, all
Australia,
the G14 countries. Maybe all the South Africa, in Africa, no?
South Africa
is strategic.
Nigeria
South
is also.
Africa account. Nigeria.
Yeah, wait, because
Nigeria,
they are because of the oil.
Nigeria
They
is
are.
strategic.
Okay.
Yeah,
So in
yeah.
just our strategic countries here, I think for the rest, we can make do with the career diploma.
But we don't.
Yeah, that's why I agree with you.
What must
That's why I agree with you.
Because he was talking about A1. A1 is the highest in foreign service.
Yes.
But because politicians take up ambassadorial positions, now ambassadorship now can and you have so many directors. A1.
Okay, I'm told say
At what age do they retire?
Let's say you're a civil servant. So
I'm told say the ambassador Michael Quay Jr. Say or some
Input, all right.
input
That's
say
fine.
will make it. Your Excellency, Akwabana upon to say
Mr. Chobibia, you're fine. I mean, Chia will be our studio, especially Miniatic.
Ojo Sopa. My entire input and also the my
Now, Mr. Semi, the clear, sir. It is not true, sir. America and UK usually appoint career diplomats. When I was ambassador or high commissioner in India, the American ambassador Neil and the British High Commissioner Dominic were all political appointees. In fact, if you notice one thing, and one of you hit the nail on the head when you said, sir, when the country is of utmost importance to the government in power, they usually appoint somebody who's close to the president so that the relationship can even go further. And President Trump, his UK ambassador, was a political appointee, and so on and so forth. But Ghana, their career, it doesn't change anything at all. I dare say Ghana is as strategically important to America as the United Kingdom. Now, there's a second point, say, some career diplomats. It's not always the case. So, to say, Obitisi Ambassador of Agriolines, he was our ambassador in UK at one point. And we have, in fact, if you look at the embassies, we have a lot of career diplomats at the moment. There are so many of them. In fact, when I was ambassador and we did a regional meeting of all the Asian countries, about 8 of them, it was only myself and Edward Boateng of China who were political appointees.
Oh, okay.
But of course, the political appointees are the most well-known. They are the most exposed, or the ones that the media is familiar with. So sometimes it may create that impression. But nevertheless, no, the Pesareka says it's not the case. You know, with India, for example, our relationship with them is so crucial that when the president was appointing me, he made one particular observation. Or say, I have appointed you ambassador. I was looking at 2 countries, Brazil, India. But I would take you to India because, one, you are a corporate lawyer and India is a business desk. But most importantly, you've had family history in India before. And Indians like family continuity. Remember, this man is a former foreign affairs minister.
Yes.
And my brother, I paid off because the very day I landed in India, all antecedent friends of Ghana showed up. And it allowed us to build our fortunes of investment from about 1.7 billion to 4.3 billion in 3 years. A record that was reported to the foreign minister. Now, why and how was I able to achieve this? Because of my relationship with the president. And being a politician, when I bring my things to Ghana, I'm able to shuffle it faster without indirect ways. One of the things that we managed to work for Ghana, and I'll go into those details later, I was supposed to have gone through the foreign minister in India, especially if I was a career. I told the people that as far as I'm concerned, the commerce minister is a contemporary. Why do I need that? And I went to visit him without going through the protocol. I used to go to the deputy foreign minister's house to get things done for Ghana. A career diplomat will not be able to break some of those protocols to do what is beneficial for Ghana. So I just want to say, the pros and the cons are very, very many. And trust me, it is one of the reasons why, in fact, the diplomatic service allows presidents to appoint political appointees because the country itself wants certain access. These are some of the issues that are up for consideration.
Yeah.
For lack of time, the majority
yeah, I think it's been fantastic. Yeah, that's Papa for the input. Why?
No worries.
Yeah, that's a part.
Why?
Yeah,
have a nice day.
Same to you. And the lawyer Michael Okwe Jr., or a CEO of the Free Zones Authority, parliamentary candidate Dome Kwabenya for the NPP, former High Commissioner of Ghana to India.
Yes. Makase, certain countries, ambassador, mayor, more shadow cabinet ministers. This is America and certain countries because of the strategic role they play. I think. But I'm telling you that based on what I know and the experience and what I saw, certain near your peniophobia they should be because of I think.
No, the way. No, make your point.
Debate. I can't debate every issue on air, but I am telling you, ambassador, the amount example of some of a near maybe because of baby or free ban in the background into a teeny. To the be a near maybe a SNE panean. So when you mucha, you can't get it done. Can't. What the fancy here?
I think the consensus around this table, and it's for countries strategic to our country in terms of country chrono status or more might in world geopolitical affairs. No, we can agree. Such a was a president, the trusted person ever, and we've mentioned them. But we should also agree for some of the countries, dear.
Oh, of course. There are no two ways about it.
For some of the countries, Burkina Faso, Togo,
now, no one has Burkina for ever strategic.
Obi, even Burkina Faso. Looking at the geopolitics now
in the sub-region,
only Mali you
need a politician there.
Oh no. I'm just
you need a trusted person.
It has to be somebody who's a trusted.
Who told you can't have a diplomat to trust? Maybe
somebody.
No, let me tell you. The moment can look. Anyway, would you my emphasis?
Well, yes, I didn't clarity into
former diplomat bi omo call retirement.
I think Dike was saying Ambassador Dike was saying
No, he was he was the resident ambassador when I was at last year. He's solid civil servant,
very intelligent.
super intelligent.
Any the ayeda any baby etinti ntimi nkasa what you say entino mampanyu so bi omo ye adwuma no meka
Kofi Ameyao enso serve in our mission in New York.
Kofi
says
Loto no.
No. Kofi where another young guy is
Kofi Ameyao.
No, it's true, but
where German
Kofi
Ameyao New York. Into I say, Atik's assertion that Kufuor started with political appointees in the foreign missions is not entirely true. In 1994, Kofi Awuno was politically appointed as the permanent representative to the UN. There is an acceptable convention of 50-50 FSOs and politicians. Obi, apart from permanent missions that really require a seasoned career diplomat, any other mission does not really need a diplomat as the head of mission or ambassador.
not really need.
Yeah. So Obi, or say the actual work of sending states is done by the consul generals, and every mission has one. In fact, the UN being the headquarters of multilateralism and diplomacy, the US appointed Nikki Haley, who was the governor of North Carolina and currently an RNC candidate for presidency, as the permanent representative to the UN.
It's different. You see, we have missions, and we have, like he was saying, we have permanent missions and so on. UN, and then going to Geneva and this and usually you don't. These are most of the time it requires uncrophobia sebi. They have NIMD in certain areas.
Sure.
Obia very good in trade. We didn't call WTO as your representative. Different.
Yeah.
But me can't like your missions permanent ones now. We day to day. What you say? That's what I'm talking about. But as for UN, as for Nansen cry, maybe UN representative nuclear or Obama.
Martha Pobi a free home. Martha Pobi
has
gone to a different place now.
Okay.
Wabe leader or one of the African countries. No, one of the multilateral institutions.
And I believe in Koma,
but she was the ambassador to the UN for
career diplomat at 80 and any budget. Foreign missions. Or more baby or more time than any budget. But I think it's true.
A lot of them
are in there. We'll just have to fish for the data.
No, it would be nice to have a conversation with them.
The topmost position, political, the struggle becomes too much. Say yeah, na ka onimi say oh me duru ha we ni ma ye ana me media benya area director general na
then your career path na ye clear,
but the wonnim a mu nyina ba pin ba bi na twuma decide say me de ma Kofi na say me de ma article ya na problem. Sometimes you me kura bosam ho kofo obi a no say wo ba dwuma no ja no and the issues ne
partisanship among civil servants
and mafia and
you any day
some never to article adwuma no mu na so makunyi ba dwuma kofo tira ko e bibia
nti ye na ko duru e wa na wanhwe e be ni jam.
At that point, you have to be politically correct. Political correctness.
And book
unwritten code.
Because we no problem. They have discussions on the way do how we do how. Until we go for bar. It's easy say obey ambassador. We and
all the top
career diplomat.
It's true. It's true. And then Obi. And man do one no topmost people. Obia ya be do top one na our support political party bi. Emma oye
line. I was starting to eat kranka we chire nurturing the party.
And they start selling information.
Exactly. All from security to non-security.
I said the solution to that, is either we take that bold decision, say, two things.
Identify strategic countries and say we would the.
Oh no,
Make sure the general conversation say then we decide as a country say for such parastatals appointment to become director general should not be done by the president. And they are one.
Okay.
If it will be done by the president and so on, then maybe an outsider should not be brought to come and head the institution.
But you should pick somebody from inside.
You should pick somebody from inside.
Corporate entities, private corporate entities, and yet all the time, and you pick it CEO from within.
That's true. That's true. Then the best approach will be take the presidency out.
Not necessarily.
No, because maybe they say, if can't we get to a pointer? No, but can't we get to a pointer? We strengthen the Public Services Commission. We advertise such positions. Let every Ghanaian anywhere, what the competence apply, come through an interview. Public Services Commission. If you feel so, almost set up, see and stronger. Let's build it up. Interview no more appointing to be boss.
As ever, I welcome. There were limitations, and let me tell you. Unim say public service space.
Yes.
The Uobi, Ukomwa.
Yes.
Irrespective of what experience I own. Yeah, the work start from
PhD you start
yes.
from you.
Yes.
Until one or mine first will now also need say wako suku akwaji be a PhD and all professional experience no yeah they will qua per their process no yeah don't go
long service
from A5
you're supposed to go
and son was sorry be A1
so
let's not sit here and create the impression say your system now you want no your sacrosanct be now no there are challenges with it, challenges with denying people who qualify to do the job no space to come in.
And no one's on the can you.
No, but I'm saying that see solve a problem now.
My civil service.
Let's solve it holistically. It is all catch be say, wow, woman na you. No, where would the innovation come from?
No, that I've gone away from that initial proposal.
No, it's saying that I can
level now. Director say
my head
of civil service, head of local service, for example.
Police service
promoted to become head of the service.
Police service, for instance. Yeah. Normally, IGP is supposed to be appointed from the commissioners,
from the COPs,
amongst the COPs.
Into the commissioners are asset in there. They be a ban for about IGP. To her commissioners now no mumba akuno be in as IGP. That part he was lucky. So as at the time I ever went as IGP. Now he was a senior most commissioner.
Yes.
It's nice we my technical because we as a doing so and the man. But can a bit so san wa ko mo be
a young commissioner.
And this should never know.
And they had the issues.
How this was one that me say be to go via senior. Na ko free na ka na do so be say adno be ko free. Na a son when about do then sabotage was starting.
No, me to say those challenges. When I make sure say your other challenges in so far.
No, that's fair. I know the
let me use myself as an example. Tama, your friend is me head of information. Was because we co-US at a young age, you know, me started a Juman temper at the age of 16, and I'm starting a Juman. It's by the time maybe 30 years, now me were almost 13 years of professional experience. Of 13 years of professional experience, and I buy decided say menko boa as head of information. I buy decision was premised on the fact say when this was be our person will drew home looking at some policy directives our person will implement it. If we say we modern more so any koboa. Yeah, let me buy me go through process. You share me CV ni me catch them me say yeah they all started from form. Now my experiences in me kuta PhD cra me pa me fan koto baby. The system literally rejected me.
What usually they do is to take you as a consultant and you bit you out differently. But if they are taking you as a away
but I'm saying that
how is it's a concern.
Yes, how do we improve a system where the idea is that it's so big and ni nim debi no de ba. The system rejects the person outright.
But are you guys also saying, say, the proposal, say, if we are looking at to make these parastatals more efficient, the appointing regime, the appointment regime should be looked at.
Of course.
You,
I
you don't think so?
I agree.
Say, rather than we allowing the president to do those appointments, can we have a system? Say the Public Services Commission would interview qualified applicants to pick one. No.
What they do, say,
men can't just going to work in there, being the head of the institution.
No, and American. What even does? Yes, there is no appointment the president does without subject to approval by the Public Services Commission.
Yes,
anybody working in the public sector, Public Services Commission is employment, but the president would appoint you.
Sure.
And would say it's subject to the approval.
But mostly they are mere formality. I'm talking proper interview.
Oh, they do. Sometimes
mostly.
Sometimes you have to
appear a master's degree. Trust me, it's not that simple.
No, but do you think that?
But I'm telling you.
No, but are you guys saying say that system will be more efficient than opening it up? People applying, doing a proper interview, getting them to come and tell us their vision for the organization. KPIs, we are giving you 5 years, and then we pick one.
But you can still maintain the president's nomination. Process. But say, okay, I'm opening it up. Then the shortlist. Now I'm paying our share amongst the shortlist. Like they do with DCC. Now I share amongst maybe there could be another length I can say layer of interviews.
Okay.
Now finally and all these interviews could be done by the Public Services Commission.
But Obi, let's not forget that we vote for a political vision. Okay. When you vote for a political vision, to a degree, it needs political implementation. You cannot just say per corporate governance 100% when you have voted for a political vision 100%. There will be an imbalance.
Vision also incorporates.
No, but he's talking reality.
No,
he's talking the reality
the
of
nature
our
of the
system.
civil service.
Obi may have all the qualifications, but Obi MPP ni, and now Obi NDC ni. Now NDC abayaba. Now we are the opposite. Now the qualifications are cut now. Obi obeka chira say wo man panyin na ya to aba ma wo vision na opese wo achieve no
Civil service you can't do that.
No, I'm saying that
this is public
we are
service.
talking about shaping how we even elect. I mean we identify the leader. Yes, and you can say you nominate and I am
and apply no interview.
Now yes, I we are. Nipa na obey no. How are you sure?
He's not beholden to the president.
President in vision be aligned.
You see, when they appoint you, because the civil service, there's the nature of civil service and the structure. They have certain qualities, and one of the, in fact, let me mention if you need to be an impartial person as a civil servant.
Yes,
you need to be neutral
on paper.
No, me but you see, if you are the head of civil, if you are the head of say local government service, for example, you are not there to implement our vision.
Anyway, the government
they hand down a vision for you to implement. You are an implementer. You don't formulate policy. You implement them. You cannot say vision. Who are you? You may say some sabotage can come in, but it's the same way. Who come in?
Sabotage.
Who call civil service? No, apart from the minister, then we might as well just collapse all the ministries.
No, but let's face the reality.
Apart from the minister, everybody else is a civil servant.
Of course,
but who bet you or not, and they belong to different political parties.
Of course.
So you cannot say because Obi has a certain political affiliation, necessarily Nippon will sabotage your vision. Because also at the end of the day, our targets to meet. What you must hear. And if you keep sabotaging government policies,
okay, I think we've exhausted this
a certain selection process. What is our selection process in the bar? Yeah, what 10-year clauses are? What the best shame?
Sure.
Because we to be a certain process now when you loosely say president bet me any time. No, you have to protect that 10-year. And
there are conditions under which
of course, those conditions will be ironclad, so that it cannot be abused.
Yes,
don't be ironclad. So I'm saying that. So you to abama man penny. So ombeyin na this wadi hunu mremua. there was certain key positions and nothing ministers no omo the end is the policy level. They are not the technical people. They are to ensure the vision of the president.
Very well.
His political vision.
Very well.
It is one they careful la. Ube say won't fix it be cost 90. That's the point that I'm making.
Me that say and for more
as heads of a cry any
there's room
politicians are here you cry any
for more adwenkyerɛ won komo aye din ho ye WhatsApp number no 0548 443 523 0548 443 523. Lawyer Chumberima ma memra wo ho. I think what news are dominating conversation from the latter part of last week into the weekend and the performance tracker. I would want to believe that nothing and the green book number. What is issue really about
quickly Martha Pobi position Her Excellency Martha Ama Achan Pobi, Assistant Secretary General for Africa.
For UN?
UN Secretary General's appointment.
UN, United Nations Secretary General appointment.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's true. She's
gone
since 2021.
Oh, that's
nice.
That's beautiful.
But the new UN Secretary General.
No, career diploma.
Exactly.
What's on ye Dean Crown?
Guterres, no.
Guterres, are you
I'm telling you, what is happening in
now the woman in Tibian now when he did
no, Boutros Ghali Kofi Annan.
Are you sure about Guterres? Now Guterres, maybe on
no, the situation in Palestine. What does the guy cannot even get them to pass? I mean, or Bonutuka, even Korea ni
some boots in Canada. Kim Bunsano, banking moon.
Onukra at least. And now you're telling well, they're true cars. Papa Spanish. Yeah, boy,
lawyer, I'm 20 tracker. No issue with the tracker.
Well, and you say be a issues to the tracker.
Okay.
Aban bia betra kunyaswa. Sabi fi o de yen tete akra de yen for yen free a year Rollins DSO from 1992 because yen say nyini bia asa into the yen free 1992 mra. If you 1992 be pum na 2024 ina aban aba be sen ko nyina no obi aba wodwuma wo ye obi aba yadwuma na so na de obetuma ye wo ye bi eba kwan aban you cannot even mention one government about transfer on my mu wa anya kwan aban kan ya sem obi aba wo ye bi. Okay, bibi bia be was bia no benyo bi attribute bibi to from 1992 by in fact even before them but they yalamiti ho to the American. Okay, obia ba or the oye and there's a way that you use also to publicize the wadima officer what I say any how a man phone so no na timamu phone na dit minima won so no beje de wo kana to mo say ayampa why am I sure Mama, just an example. Yeah, brand yeah, cocoa roads. Yeah, friend is saying a free apejam kwanta, etwamu or cross anyone when I been saying a siakwa, the boomche be there. Yes, I go na. Yet to work correct. Sabi, abansa ya na do ba yi. Na kwanin say you. But once what you ask for the atuso. That then they say, yeah, yes, I can never can say, yeah. And on also by cancer on Friday. Honestly, you're going to be before the idea can the whole year. Sure. But the challenger, me, Kakra, Masha, in the last few days, no, I was side tracker, and say, and the money be a woman, dear woman. That is why I me personally, me wages with Obi said, the me a corrector, me who beat to say. Or say urban construction of speed humps.
Speed ramps.
Exactly.
Speed ramps.
Yeah, but don't use the word humps, which is HUMPS.
Okay.
At selected areas within KEEA municipality.
Okay.
Na Obi. Speed ramps.
I then.
Some say that.
I don't know. That's all the government. All the amazing government.
Ah.
Are they?
And the Sunday and I agree with I was yes, I'm going over. Speed bumps. At Nima, yeah, our born no more than just say, well, try to get for an speed bump. Are you serious? And then my baby, I am when they say I'm going to be through. I said, if I send any mechanic, and cost at the rollers to Capesma. And will be speed bump no one now, young captain. Come on, Obi.
If the district assembly take stock of Nyomo Mode Abansi Kako assembly why now in that district no na omanfo ni soon and it's a cars speed dodo into omo here speed ramps na assembly na committees card aye now omo ma account of project omaya you think they should not add it
when assembly be add the akekabo and
that's the understanding
that's the understanding
yeah
oh okay mate anything speed ramps nyina wo oh sorry me bisa keke say
no baby say kwasa na sharing of justice ya won
sharing justice ni nyina no enyina yaban nyumadi a wadi amankrofo ma so bomfa so no ya de nyame ase na de ennimu no so ya body no so
enya no mabe pan which was 67 be a wrong entries and apart from that
hono kra na would remember but we ya hwade bi
okay
so while ukrom takrade
yes
o stadium na wono friend say
Esipon. Secondary Sports Stadium, Esipon.
Good. Almost say a 90% complete.
Yes, I can't say more. I don't know.
And
the picture doesn't tell that story.
90% complete.
Stadium.
Say rehabilitation.
Renovation works in 90% complete.
Unim where I find it a bit surprising because in Kenoforia test I think last but one budget statement.
That is last but one. That's 2020.
That should be 2022 or 2021. I think 2022.
2022 should be. Yeah.
Kenoforia yes.
That's already budget
because we are
last but one. Last but one. So it should be 2020. Then it should be 2023. 2022 rather.
He mentioned
2023.
Yes. He mentioned it. Say Esipon rehabilitation is ongoing. Currently 90% complete, and he was fact checked. With pictures and yes, because this is the state of the stadium. It might surprise us why it still finds itself into its way into the track. But it's a bit surprising.
You see, so would they back track and shouldn't put in a problem. But Sira was what's in the account as assembly be a yejuma. And the Juma young dance dieba. As if one said you me, insist a bit of fracture, an isolated area. Assembly be as and as association assembly be war. If this are buying poor and my contract if be a man one crying. And he has so much where's a man who ever take and as a second day one. Or call you now or you want to report to Basse. You do how much Jemmy and Jemu do crown Naka and Jemu do penny. Why na monitor? Why this what I see? Why now akoshe say ambassador man wa yedru say 90 ya boss you ampa nti ma ban timi tum as you are saying Emma finance minister enya kukuduro kache the house of record say baby ya page say dem na aho ne minkan say botrim like in the state e dia koduru nie na ya aka just about handful bi na ya wie why na ko check be kan say ban is it assembly or who? And I suppose National Sports Council and that's authority. Woman acquired this information by Bayana. Who fed government with that information to a man finance minister can 2023? Now assign repeating who in 2024. Why? In any case, from 2023 to 2024 is about a year. 2023 budget now can 2022 November. And the bag 2023. It's a new year. We have some the affair Chamuko. About the same year, we reporting 90%. First question, no. 2022 as some and our catcher and say, as a banner with parliament, how much you do a crony aye? To almost done. Yamisha. I fear the same come a cack and film you. I didn't you go 90% in and ne. Shouldn't you have gone far than the 90 as at now? So who is checking what? Are we just sitting somewhere and giving money or giving impression or signing contracts or giving orders? Say, Chum should go and do ABC. And once we say that, anything that Chum come back to tell you is factual, it's valid, it's okay. I think in Kosia Children could be Yapon, such no back and Yajedi, Yasum. And at the end of the day, as you already indicated, on my sika. And your dear man, could be some munion for A, B, C, D, E. And I won't and walk on taboo. But I couldn't know who and your working. Sadia way. Say, no crown passer buying this camobi. So, on quest argument. And the tibia munia says a bit of ratio. Sabalasuya. Somebody must answer question. Somebody must answer question. Aside the fact that I didn't go by for the check. But we have spent some money for finance minister to be telling us what years can be. It's not on the body of parliament. If not, maybe you could have heard it from maybe the sports minister or something. But for finance minister to be telling you in parliament, when you say maybe he has authorized some payments to be given to one company or one person to go and do some particular job. Who was checking what? Who was supervising? Over 1 year down the line, we are still reporting the same thing as it were in 2022, 2023. Are we serious as a country? MC, I want to be MC. Second year,
yes. MC Pons should be under STMA. Yes.
So
yes.
International MC. Yeah, by MC. It's MC no. I mean, say when I hear say sango ya say na biase. Say na so no one go so wa. On one senior. Utie ya. Ade nhwemu pa na wo ye and say monitoring ben wa ye for that project na. Yes, my 90% no. Knowing very well that is the case. And was Indiana. But I'm sure you are the rep of government over there. And Tiamposi and found man directly in Ponua. Technically. So some kind of oversight responsibility on the Ekos or women's room be able to be a man. So would be a dear be and Kabu Guasmana. And now what you been a good piece to get this and Yabakato assassin Yodano, Acacia was near you and Acacia been near you. Uvoni Grams and Pasadana, Acacia was near you, and I am Pam Pass, Sanitiana. Obi, so your mind money and I see a gentleman on mine what on my second idea, Madia, and you are contributing Pamra.
Okay.
Number 2, me who yes, I'm saying, in front of him, another day. Yeah, in front of him. Yes, one was old students was saying, acquire one more AstroTurf, one more cattle sword 2022, Eco Machine March 2023. And also a woman said, I buy it.
On my AstroTurf never in school.
Old West and acquire my home. Me, you know her. Mammy, and penny briefly, let me cancel. Sorry. Okay. It's bad. Obi.
Yeah, but the question then is, government itself through the information ministry admitted they've identified 67 wrong entries. Why are you still hammering on those wrong entries?
What do you mean by wrong entries?
Now, Minister,
who gave it? Who first of all brought those entries? One at the back.
Oh, but if you are dealing with 13,000 plus projects, I mean, margin of error.
Hold on. Why not quality data?
I don't know.
Various assembly. What you say? Assembly be the end by you over 200 district assemblies in this country. In Tiaban so be the end neighbor. To be the ban the assembly be no obia will hand you one note. Into be by and not when you do batoso and then all to us. School ya me bo di chira we. Eye in front of him the me na me
Semper FM.
And maybe was in front of him Old Boys Association to construct artificial turf for armor matter. This was on where my journal line reporting it on 2022. 1st August 2021. And my journal line reporting. The project was commissioned, reported by Graphic Online that one group from MOBA.
Yes.
Good. MOBA commissions new artificial turf for armor matter. This was on March 2nd, 2022.
Okay.
That is a year or so after. But I buy track and say any.
AstroTurf at Infantapim Boys Senior High.
Can I have a look at
that's fine. Okay, I bet you. A day in a buy here, you ma assembly no. Say I'm just go inside the assembly and the buy. so the some person say something in the brain kan and say the bank kan there na aban road na aban play through assembly say one capital aban project
omutimi nya adwen crash on be capture we kan aban project on
then road na e bia no play road bia yeni mo o kan mente
e bia o ma asase
na school na don't know what's in the
one so questions dey na yebusa
what does say o man go in chain yes in school mu wa
okay
and fancy film no shouldn't mu that they know how big their land is okay but dia young go sin about yes in school no mu and most of that should have been missing ya na new land o an existing park area bi na
redevelop
sanity entina dia bi school ni park bi da school bi as park school bi organ ha bi park even primary schools will be how much more secondary enti omo dia dente ba ne say na aban timi capture say wo project
okay
University of Environment and so many different environment and sustainable development
development yes
and so aban project
na so we come with the idea
say then
so it was at a point and we better
so are you saying we shouldn't talk about what we have
so ma beto so I said na wa kan example our man earlier no say e kwan bi anama ye o mo nso be asphalt wo so no
chebidie no
o ma claim say o mo de amunso mo betima claim say mo de it's the same thing with this so obi ye dru ba bi no obi abeto so
enti we no continuation project
why not a project yeah it's a
continuation project okay san system no
just a chroma obi anya project
oh na obi na ye obi na ni okura obi jaba but obi I mean to make I mean time no come I mean enyenam me monitor fa na o maka membi the tintin je nyina na say wo bo ni ma ho dawre bi and this time ya de ni
green book
green book and
no issues in it
oh
at the
similar
time
issues
at the time it was
I'm looking at one actually
here
what kind
I think so there
artistic impression of Tamale Airport
and that's an achievement with the book
oh
that's not
no hold on idea but let me show me Asat 20 I think 10 or 11
a drawing
I think 2010 or so or 11 one of the main kai na hold on we here oh baby and ayidia private terminal no
terminal
one yeah now would you answer first now one the local terminal for the local flights
sure
would you not president Mills time no you pesti ebo
say you be tamale say
no yeah exactly say tamale airport no you be and this is how to be at the end
okay
one can't say the why but was see among impressioners I didn't know you know say that project started under him
this is more like a performance tracker
but the book was
this is the environmentally unsustainable
relax and me say what say why so can say idea why and why nesi ho and now kwa na eniwa who already right to question him but what say me yade no and indeed
what's the narrative that accompanied this picture what's the narrative so for every project they have a narrative.
Of course,
it will almost say
picture
no, it's not impression.
Which is under construction and
so I'm say wo hwe ha no
we airport one Max Robbery
about transport sector
artistic impression
road safety
because there's no narrative that I'm so relaxed
or under civil aviation maybe anaya bia no pictures wa
okay
so how many Ghana airport cargo center ni
okay that was under construction
yes
good
enemy
Tamale dey no yanko
but you know Tamale airport for the construction started under this government me bu sound
it was work on the runway.
It was a runway.
Work on the runway.
Obi. No, I can't hear.
Oh no, specifics.
No, I can't hear. Me be I can't hear. Runway I can't hear. Oh, relax la. Atik. Runway expansion here I can't hear. Bibi ba exactly.
Redevelopment.
And I'm not sure some president Mills time. We call the President Mills time. You the same picture no bo. But we are not making it. When you was a checking or left now, there was some washroom on your right. Not this artistic with the picture. It was a 3D form and a form one. Anybody was using that.
And when it was put in the book to show it's a project, saying
this is what is going to happen at the end of the day.
The way they're about toilet. Okay.
The idea behind accounting to the people
so
was to account for the project
done,
not what you intend to do.
We were doing it.
Doing what?
But I'm about was and then this government. No, but
lawyer, where I agree with you, say you wanted to show what you were about to do with the development of the if you put the narrative about we were doing it, the natural expectation is state and number do where the animal should have been the pictures and never sank a babu.
Obi.
Tamale airport. Say about toilet.
And your toilet. Airport. Not ebo.
And you know when Obi I never. Obi Jamaica in the Tamale airport expansion. Tamale was not an equivalent of an international airport
at the time.
Yeah. So we needed to expand it. And expansion was going to include almost everything at the airport.
Sure.
From terminal to
arrival hall in the park.
Exactly. Okay. Nina can be answered what you have been that international standard no. I was open. And as at the time of the NDC, the first initial work started to do with the airport was a runway works.
Was a runway. But why didn't you show a picture of the completed runway?
They did that.
So is it in there?
Completely different from the
different.
Oh, done so far.
This was the runway. I know my.
But where am I on swear?
And I'm telling you that the work was. It's a thousand.
So this was a intentions.
Some negotiated, but to be fair to them, if they tell you, say they are redeveloping the Tamale airport, now almost show picture of they doing the runway. It's not wrong. Some was okay. We've done the runway, but we are saying that it don't look like that.
But you're saying Obi, the same thing was done for even Pokwa's intelligence.
Yes.
Our commission, your friend is saying, circle Diano. That night in our commission will show 3D view of how the Pokwasi one will be over there.
But not 4-tier. No,
3-tier, and then with traffic systems.
Yeah.
And now we want to convert the traffic system rather than
another tier.
Exactly. And now, show you. It's like our travel people now, come on that 3-tier with the traffic system. She was show 3D natural. And so can say a wrong so but there city. Service apart will be your question. The first thing any builder of any house or whatever sees is what?
Drawing.
Exactly.
But it doesn't mean you own a house.
But I'm not. But the first telling that he wants it.
The kind of drawings are man for phones.
But do you also agree, sir? This book, for what it was worth at the time, any narrative mupushi around this book was expected to contain completed projects. But do you agree?
Everything in the book was supposed to be completed.
But that was what this book was supposed to be.
Or done.
No. Any sanity. Okay. And man woman no do one ebi na your ongoing. So some of the hospital facilities
were ongoing.
Na your ongoing. For instance, for example, military hospital Kumasi but na ubehunu pictures na behunu na completed. Ongoing. Ubehunu bakwai there na ye completed na ye ongoing. But then just ade bia na won bia na ye de to bia na ye ma na ye be tell say enyuma ya so far nyina no.
Okay.
Ano bia publish of the Jesse. Na ye tell and sika ya kwaje ye de be adwuma de tell say adwuma no. Say de be wi a we say nyenye.
Lord, and to my final question is for Sikane ade aba aban we in since 2017. They've developed a tracker to tell the Ghanaian people say 13,000 plus project when this is can are you satisfied?
I am extremely woeful.
Project away and match is carbon.
Obi, Shazika Omajo, when you catch a in the issue.
Okay. When
you catch a bambia in the issue of Ghana, bond marketing under the tenor $11 billion anomaje. Just one market. $11 billion and yeah, but 3 billion. I spread it in chunks. The tranches. Sorry, thank you. But meanwhile, the entire year of 2019, 2020, 2021, each year near $3 billion from the bond market each year.
Very well.
And 2 years ago, my India and any year
13,000
projects. 1 year in the year because the cabo when champion of Biara.
Medase. Now, sir, Namu project and I will agree, do 13,000. And I
oh, and I send and make you got to man.
Oh no, I just wanted to say yeah comparison.
And I will now. The Matter since car bomb and someone
they could have done very well. Medase. I take my mint.
Medase washewie.
As it be saying.
Nidi kind.
44.
Me, I think sir, yen or Manfon, we deserve to know what government is doing with our taxes and all other revenues are ever amazing. We deserve to know.
Asempa FM.
You see, it is because we want to find out whether our buying investments are cost effective. Sikana omuinyano ene juma omudi aye no ekoyie. Na media sa tracker yi, I think so much more needs to be done on this. The idea is excellent, it's laudable, and I'm particularly excited about it because of the digital implications. As Ubia who advocates environmental sustainability, I think that idea we need to begin shifting towards more digital information sharing. The printing of Adiwe in the first place says Sika is not environmentally friendly and so on. Until that shift for me is good. And it's easier for you to track anywhere you are. Maybe you will be but like I said, much more needs to be done. Essence it's not just enough to just have pictures and claim okay, these are projects. And so we need to know the cost of each project. We need to know the beginning of each project. What is the proposed completion time? So we are able to track is for us to be able to follow progress of work. What was here? And on this occasion, my main bo get from Fuabaso.
Okay.
They are working on something spectacular. As I say, you can sit in your house and know at any particular point in time, in real time, the nature of work, the cost of the project, drew, and so on and so forth.
With Get Fund projects.
Okay. And a similar thinking should inform this type of tracker. So that me share me district, I want to find out what are the projects that are ongoing in my district. I should be able to follow. Now, me can say, project we sikase na Ekosiisen. You starting dasi and UAC and dasi na EBW. That is how you allow us to follow and track the progress of projects. And we can hold you accountable. And if this is done in the spirit of transparency and accountability to the Ghanaian people, it needs to be a comprehensive project. So that and wherever I am in the world, I can access the nature of projects, the extent of work done, and so on and so forth, and the cost in particular. But see, the OBD pictures are betuho, and some of them are even being contested. And if you look at the state of it, some of them really are not projects you should be proud to include in any performance tracker. But like it's been said some of the entries were wrong. So let's even grant that the entries were wrong. Stadium it featured in our budget statement. And to the extent that you consider it a wrong entry means and if you look at how dilapidated the stadium is, let's just say Sikebi Komu, and now we've allowed it to rot. Who is taking responsibility for that? Yesika na ashisa no. So it should not be a wrong entry. We should not be including Sabi Nyaye ni ye nkwao. Nyaye ni ye nukrano should even be included. So I do not accept the excuse there. Those ones, for example, the stadium. Maybe others really don't deserve to be included. But the stadium, it ought to be included. The state of work. And Nyaye ni ye nkwane said and it is fair. You don't expect government to be able to do nina. But let me be some questions. Who was responsible for this project? Eban is saying, is it that Sikani short here? The NMA is Sikani short here. Because projects one sign award the contract, you need to have a fair idea of the funding source. And whether to me AWSR project no. Say sikana buy a sikana ban sign a sikana ntimi amfa nwie. Who diverted the money? And sikana ambassador, why did it not come? What can we do to get the rest of the money? These are things we need to include so that Ghana for maybe beside these questions and together we can find solutions. Until me the stadium cannot be a wrong entry. It is a good entry, just that ye and we can begin to ask the right questions. But again, I've been thinking about how we run local governance in this country. Ghana's model, there are different types of decentralization. You choose which one fits
you. Yeah.
You have the concentration, you have delegation, and then you have devolution. Ghana, we've decided say
devolution.
Yes. So we are devolving not only responsibilities but resources.
Yes.
Now, and let me dream what happens in the UK. A man for a council tax.
Yeah.
And the council is able to do construction of roads, take away your garbage and the rest of it. What stops us? Instead of centralizing the award of road contracts, what stops us from saying, districts? The ministry may set up specialized offices in the various district assemblies. And Omejumani said they are going to be implementing the construction of roads at the local level. So that any ministry of roads and highways, and a member district normal decide, okay, we are awarding this contract this year. So the ministry is overwhelmed. And almost at the end of the day, the little they are able to do is what they do. But if you say district assemblies, you say district assemblies don't have the power to construct roads. Why don't we, since we are practicing devolution, devolve the responsibility of constructing roads and give them the money? And also even encourage them to have innovative ways of also raising monies other than the central government to engage in road construction, because they know the district better than who are minister Uti Accra. It becomes easy. Look, Missy Debia Meka Niema Bruchi AFE green grass na coin. Asa.
Of course.
We have better architectural designs more than they. But Nientia would draw Bruchi of Fennis,
especially in the UK. In the US, debatable.
No,
Yes.
no, even US cry.
But US are dying.
Well, why? And then in your complex, let's have apartment complex almost in
your dining Dawson.
Exactly. And the design is no so in what must
I has a point. ABR. Maybe I also one point here.
No, sir, I want to see
major
cities
in the cities in there.
No,
but in the suburbs, no.
Exactly.
And then the landscaping.
Hey, no money and the money effect. But California, the amount for 60 mansions, 3 million, 4 million. So, but Ghana, everywhere you go, even on Krasimpo, Obi Peso sit down for fair face. What's that here?
Yeah.
But the no more townhouses, massa. Just normal.
West.
But
Ochame Kwame can say, I forgot. The entire interview, and anybody who has time should find the entire interview of Chairman.
Okay.
The question came up about development. Now, small kind say, what's modernity? Is modernity skyscrapers? And I say, modernity is one kasa innovative designs in your own way.
Yeah.
To suit your way of
environment,
life.
Your environment.
So, to Atik's point, we may not necessarily need skyscrapers to say it's a Ghana effect.
But we need good roads, and
once you have the
proper landscape,
all of that, that's it.
What is it? No, well, but yeah, fantasy. What is it? So my issue is
the real place the airport hills.
Airport is on Kwa.
Now Kumasi new place now, but no.
Let me get the Jambuase. What that's so. Okay.
Top hill and
top hilltop.
And Tasman so bad.
Tamale so hilltop.
Oh, okay.
Tamale hilltop. But the point I'm making is that if we give them these responsibilities,
yes,
they know the locality. It's easy for them to do road construction. No more than a year. Look, who are you now? Shagana, Urabeho.
Yeah.
Call.
Accra is better. Kumasi is terrible. Oh, we now here Kumasi. Oh, share. Oh, sit
Accra is better when you are getting closer to East Legon.
Oh, yeah.
But who free no one but
oh, Sane Ebrubi Pone.
Oh, jai. Enye. Ko.
Yeah.
So na you dey light to ban who from.
Yeah.
So my point is say when you na here key, it should have been the you can say assemblies compiling these projects to feed into this tracker so that, like I was saying, tracker will be district specific. And to Upa, you go to say Eastman Prissy. Me person me who projects I call so because Eastman Prissy na me click here. Projects in ewo honum no beba.
But that is what it is.
No, me ba. Beba. And I can tell in real time, those that are still under construction, maybe say no me drew pictures are okay. If there's an improvement, they update it.
Okay.
What must then they know. But say see and one say obi check picture be not or the abe or the abeto. Only God knows, maybe after 2 months, 3 months, there has been an improvement. Track and is it going picture that na
yeah, they say they will do daily updates.
Daily.
Yeah, when there are new projects, they would update.
Not new project means adding new ones.
Sure.
I'm talking about
Okay.
What is the state of it?
Okay.
Get farm for the in real time.
Okay.
And there were say and no the cost of each project.
Is indicated.
And so if you are telling us to track your performance should not be assessed in a vacuum.
Yeah.
Project no now it is no cost you're saying. We can even tell whether that project was cost effective.
Yeah.
So you just come and put a picture and say oh how would I know it's cost effective? Because accountability is not just about the project, but how cost effective is that project? Until there's an improvement, I would like those who came up with this brilliant idea to add to it. To add.
Fortunately, get fund I that you
so it's just something they can,
you can look at it and
the administrator is one awesome man they can reach out to. And nuna ebema ni yepese yi ebe shemukina. And subsequent governments can adopt it so that it becomes like the yardstick. Wow, we see okay, my year BBC and BBC. There is a tracker that me amiti Gamagano, I can look for it even if it is in Western region. Now I'll be able to tell I buy cars why project say na cost here and as of today say net here. Okay. What is here?
Okay.
Until in 3 months time I can come back.
Stadium the
No, they ought to have included it. So that if
Green Book now project cost can
there be
no.
But that's what I'm saying. We need to move beyond. Oh, and
I mean you're right.
They started with this. Government who feels we should not just print this. Let's have a tracker that is digital.
So there should have been
an improvement.
Yeah.
What was it? So that at every point in time you can tell. Oh, so project is 50% complete today. Now, in 3 months' time, you can come back and check.
Yeah.
What is the progress of work? Now, you can say that Ejumani Koso. If something is not being done, you can alert authorities. Say, Ejumani for 3 months.
By the way, Ken was
that is how
2000,
yes,
2022, and it's still 1920.
That's how you enable people to track government's performance. Draw authorities' attention. Eto de bia, inti na mi ka about devolution. Minister na ote akra no. Ono be commission project na. Nkrofo is omo hweso no. Asan. Until if something is not being done, you can draw the minister's attention and whichever authority's attention to the fact that ejuma na obe commission here no. Ukache and said this is how much it's going to cost, and that the proposed completion date
say
Adena in fact after 3 months she make her home. Then the minister would be alerted and prompted, and whichever authority don't say no. Mo amushe ejuma so ban say na 3 months enye hwe embeka ho and ayenhu hwe ya ese ka ho. This is really the kind of conversation we need to have. I think the idea is brilliant, but a lot more work needs to be done to make this fit for purpose. Now, like I was saying, they need to include cost, real time, monitor, and they need to update progress as routinely as they ought to do. Now, at the end of the day, me I bet me say, oh, abain sika abain ejini juma oye no. And like I said,
on Infantipim, I don't know how true this is, but one of our listeners says, Obi, the mobile Infantipim AstroTurf was heavily supported by the Ghana National Gas Company.
Okay, then that makes it a government project.
Concerned.
But that's another issue. Even though Gambaga may per se the AstroTurf ni because, but I have issues with AstroTurfs. They have shorter lifespans. When if you were to do green grass, it is cheaper. it is sustainable, and it serves a lot more other purposes.
Sustainability, I'm not too sure.
You need water to just keep it. I can't say to keep it green.
Now can green grass once and green grass.
Green grass. So you need just water.
After me kai say me bra fie nchen wo.
No, you see.
No, me ba.
Okay, me too.
Ewo esu ye bo akoma. Last year, mostly at December, me call the whole fee. Last year, me call park bi wo omu fie n'anim. Green.
Yeah.
Gonna through the instrumentality of the MP.
Okay,
Professor
Nyako.
Okay.
Oh, my green grass now water so green lit. Yeah. Last 3 weeks. Me dominion my in the cook man na me call. Maza I said your better.
No, that's maintenance.
Bare ground.
No. So that is maintenance. So my suggestion is we green field in green grass. Bula, how much does it cost to
drill a borehole?
How much? Then you employ, you see, just like we are doing with AstroTurf, a man for to go and play. No, it's just like an AstroTurf, just like it's more sustainable, and the field grass. What is it? Run it like you do with AstroTurf. Mudian say you keep maintain the grass.
Okay.
Niobe more grass, niobe water grass, and no panana you just.
And you build the same infrastructure. The difference will be the grass.
Exactly, because it's cheaper and it's more sustainable. What you must say? AstroTurf do mile 7. Must in 5 years. Who could share because it has a shorter lifespan and it's more expensive. Until I have difficulty with government investing a lot more money, even though I'm Gamaga for Nyebi, because there is issue between Hamaga and Larigo. But I feel that if government were to invest in grass fields now, and will be more sustainable, and they can do a lot more. Uko Siniga, I am an advocate also of about devolution. Empower the district assemblies. Look, every district in this country. It's a policy suggestion I made to a particular political party. Say they should have it in their manifesto. Say one district, one park. Every district, they should have a public park. Uko Senegal, they have those parks, and the parks come with gyms, open gyms. Who point you out in for year exercise, sit, have a good view. Now I could feel. So wellness and fitness in Sanumano, you can have a nice park, green grass. Yao. Uko broche parks and your green grass now. You just need to have a field. Now what grassy now what the grass now be too so when your seats to be there too, then you attach an open gym. And every district we can do these things at cheaper cost.
Very well.
And you know the citizens would benefit.
I think me that say Ekosiisen so higher Sempa FM Kofi Tonto will talk. We say Obi, I would always go for natural grass. If the AstroTurf is not a hybrid one, forget it. And you honestly, he would go for natural grass.
Yes,
because AstroTurf, the AstroTurf should be a hybrid one. And yes, I forget this is no Drew Safo.
Exactly.
He sits on the FA Executive Council.
Yeah. For back so as or see, there's one built by the Suhum MP. Says
yeah.
Or see, the grass is natural and it's way better than the AstroTurf.
It was Suhum.
It's the way to go.
Okay, Metie Kofi, I'll listen to you after this 2 minutes break. Here, but see Ekosiisen Montreal.
Ghana Fui Franco. Esa the electrical appliances for Frabejaswo. Washing machines, ancient women, yopo, CCTV cameras, and need all clear. I be you know that. Saba mobile phones, this are iPhones, Infinix, Nokia, Samsung, any the Keka, anyone says you na Franco. And now bring the air papa, ne water foam say Franco air conditioners, every 1.5, adequacy 2.5 horsepower, Samsung and Franco TV, every 32, adequacy 85 inches. Franco, essential tabletop. Double decker, any chest freezers, and chain in a mahoden cry. Franco Kwabata be a bengo. Name of head office, a wada braka, one in Roxy Cinema Nadian Friend 0246 422 338 and a 055 5939 311. Franco Electrical Appliances Papa.
Across Africa, a new era has begun. Shifting our focus to a new horizon connecting us with one purpose: to create and share opportunities to grow. We are making a brighter tomorrow, built by our dreams and our energy. Across our continent, across the world, we are creating a better way to a better future. A Pan-African future, together. EcoBank, a better way, a better.
Constituency watch your first from Kwa. And what's some perfect radio committee can see Ekosiisen so. Now, free election yet, you know, yet in Bell constituency sense. And when you force what is away anyhow, I'm on your pocket same you. I am the city MPP. One man will see for what's up as so but you say. Samson of political parties, the movement, I can't submit anti-parliamentary candidates, regional and constituency party executives, sitting MMDC is no more when you have a baby. Upenya Quenya beside your face to face. You better your parties now your constituency no. Near Eha constituency is the back and what's up. Now your 50 parties the manifestos no. Ashe Bakutwa. One will share some person so much as I could say. Or Swanemo as on a form. Yeah, send a bayer who die about Peshaso. Now what's share? As a perfect constituency watch. And Basso Fia de Bia 2 p.m. to 6 p.m. Yes, see a Bekoba 50 constituencies. And Sana Fia Batona Biso. As a perfect constituency watch.
Anytime I feel lonely, feeling sad, only one station makes me happy. When I wake up in the morning, only this station makes my day. Yeah. Oh, Asempa FM. Asempa FM. Oh, Asempa FM. Asempa FM.
94.7 Asempa FM. So ni Ekosiisen dwumedi no asoguso a utie no ma se ne ensan so ema makwa babio Kofi Tonto ewa ha Tik Mohammed and a lawyer Chumbere ma medin di osaibo nso Kofi ma yentio performance tracker matters arising
obi medase. You see, aban we aye niema bibra. I think say Bravo Kasam ye can be say posterity dachi ebe nkunimdie ama Kufuado ne era Mahmoud Bawumia aban obi ejitum se ene sebe sikasem hawo ne ade kakra ewo ho nenso aban we ya ye niema bi a ebe ye fapem ama my we ne nkoso si ye Ghana fo no beto da bi a sa na esi ye hwade yen hwe no fapem yo a eye ene die betimi aya to aso so kenkan ye ya your friend is saying your national we say no
is it the anthem na and I say general assassin okay oka abakosem ayi futusem wom say ye na obi nso meden emeto aso aban we ya niema bebrea abeye fapem a aban bia betimi abeden abeto aso me makase one of the biggest achievements of this government enye free SHS so obusamia Ghana card free SHS is excellent. It is one of the top achievements. But say me me Ghana card. If we say fapimwa edi be ma of mining cost no baby a pese druno yet me druno. It will shock the world.
education equally is a foundation and also be page our mind. But naturally, no, idea na di o man ni nya pa ye. The fact say ye need any form of identification. And what the man may consider and known as one of the pivotal things I heard. Yeah, because for abaya ba besna ko nyina na ya try na ntimi nya den enye. Adenti na make away nyina. Fapem ni bi na yaye, which is the performance tracker. Na me ne atik be ya adwene say baby a yaye adru no yen toa so. If you say nei ebedru baby a we minister now to officer. And that Sabi Kufuado ana president and a day letter be bro say ana bra cabinet be catch them the why you. Ebedru baby no. There will be a public placer by who KPIs are signing no. Who performance in what's our public platform so. Enti so be sorry no person who adia e koso GMPC and no so akosa public platform so. Now about GMPC the so who be an obeding. Obehu. Tinia say you are bringing governance to the people. Enti we fapem sronko a ehsi agitum ne ebohu ban ne ehyem kena na de ma fapem we no eye fapem a ehu hia pa ne say it's a living document. Eye fapem atiase emu echina foforo betimi abayeden abeka ho constantly updating, growing, improving, bettering. For me, this is one of the best things about we are here. Say it comes to transparency and accountability to the people. So I can kind of mind no. Ya mamrana e show man panyi kete say afibia kogana mra shebedwam nefa wanu disem tudwa de wodi Ghana sika any a japadia de share one sano the odia and ameboa. I don't need a friend State of the Nations address. So State of the Nations address no. Oman panyin timi nkruchire ni nyina ngu nkrata so e making kind. In fact, tofa no kra wo bono to da bi ha 4 hours. No jira na nine so. I know you're tough on. But tough on ain't enough. If we say you see account for what you have used our resources for. And to sabe would the BC one school one classroom blockokrana, you must what? Account for it. And to be near loyalty I was say yes. Projects now near 13,000 no and yet no na resource envelope na nya no ye but minya so ko near Ghana card a physical thing and ameboa. You cannot count Ghana card as a physical thing. I mean no investment akomo wo Ghana card. You can free SHS. You cannot count it per se. But me no investment ayeden akom in terms of sika ya de bo mo ho bra. The this is school. The day boy teacher for any the SBK home laptops in this hand your money na. Obi, for me, abaya ye juma soa ese ebo mabaso. Of course, if you are accounting for something at different levels, because Obi, you are counting at community level, district level, constituency level, regional level, and sana national level. We are what be accounting what agency level, ministry level, one level, and ameboa. Ni nyina na wo aggregate e dia begu nsani ani se Ghana ni no susu bia no onya den o mehwe. Ye ni infrastructure. And nothing I'm starting free say, what is the foundation? aban we na be lay the foundation. Now woko track ane so a utimi information no say bia person hu bibi wo o manso adubia na wo no Moso azumomo district ne fall under den Amansie
West
tu be ko betimi a selected by Ashanti region na we choose Amansie West nti Amansie West no adwuma a yedi wo Amansie West nyina ubehu bia na wo de nya Amansie West na opese wo hwe ni mprempren a bia na opese wo hwe Ministry of Education aban ne ba de no waye eno so kwa wo select ministries na we choose Ministry of Education bia na bia wo pese wo be hwe by ministries wo pese wo hwe by categories bia pese wo hwe sports but you don't want to necessarily look at bia Ministry of Sport but just a category of sports na pese wo hwe ubetimi a select na wa hwe. And these are all the different layers. Wouldn't nyina ebegu database mu. Now we're cleaning it up. Now what are the visuals? Now what linking nyina ansana.
Asempa FK.
What who to say the website so. Me I'm a data analyst by profession, so I know I've done these things, building platforms using Power BI, Tableau, etc. Building SQL backgrounds and getting all of these things done. So I know the work that goes into it, the myriad of databases that you have to connect, and information is so awunya no. Ebu okra na obehɛ no, omo ne fam raw electronically o. Omo de bebra paper format. Until you may have to what? Convert into a digitized format so that you can add it to the database. And send a pictures, so whatever, videos, so whatever. It's a lot of work, and I'll go into it.
Okay.
It is about buying that basu say at least what creates our foundation. Say China buy for bar once why then what betwaso. But me ni article by Adrian say and say she said that chin ye ko anim no ye betimi de akwafo for so then abeka ho. So okay project we bia contractor we na ye we no at this cost afi we and was start here and afi we and we ni nyina beboa to help with the accountability. But obi so be ISL adwuma sun we cleaning up. See, I can say when your final data set of 13,000, it doesn't mean that was the data set you started with. You could have started with even 1 million data set. And what cleaning and now what compile ya kike biabo mwa na wabe drew the final data set when you know. Of course, challenges ba kumienu mi ense bi beba. Me obi asendi bi abrem say na kofi me ha say sa niema we maye ma fa nka ho.
Asempa
Sansuna eya no krenso obi nso asandi bia bra me say kofi we die eni kwan say ewa ha. In fact 67 challenges na aban ne kai no enanyi nyina mpo na eni kwan say wo mu ebi wrong alignment ebi say we ewo district we ne akọ aligning wo district fofo. These are some of the challenges. Now, a name who say Minianum NDC4 are fishing for information. You can fish for it, but it doesn't change the fact, sir. Abaya see 588 senior high school projects. It doesn't change that fact. You can fish for it, but it doesn't change the fact, sir. Abaya see more than 10 STEM schools in this country, in the caliber of universities. It doesn't change that fact. Opa kwa abumusu ne koshe. You can fish for the negatives. It doesn't change the fact, say, Abaya see 526 basic schools in 7 years. It doesn't change that fact. 12 interchanges, Yaye drones, 307 ambulances. It doesn't change that fact. Obi mede manusin. When it comes to roads, it doesn't change the fact, say, Ekufuado has done the most roads in the history of this republic. Fact. So you can look for all the things you want to look for, the negatives you want to look for. The bottom line is that me free kukufu bekwai say me call me district ɛnɛ mate sɛ me kurom mebɛkɔ hɔ nkyɛ nyame adom wokɔ kokofo a ɛsi abɛgu yɛ akwan so nyinaa ama yɛ enti sɛ wɔ mu na me check me district a mehu sɛ ampa yɛ kwan na anaase ɛnyɛ ɛsuofoɔ a bridge a na ɛda hɔ a nyame adom sese yɛ wie mehu anwea kwanta kwan sɛ wahu sɛ ɔmayɛ sɛ ɔhu na sɛ mehu sɛ one of the media houses could try almost state of the art but yeah na kwan no mo ya mo mfa markings
nka ho
why yesrem mo yɛ kwan na mo mfa markings
sɛ markings matches o mu nwie no
mo obi kwan be bra ne nam so a markings so many years later na markings in this I know there there somewhere but obi very well apart from that about where yes some major roads are best on the face of Ghana from Ofanko barrier to Nsawam 33 kilometers 10 lanes yeah Adenta to Dodowa yeah Kaswa to Winiba yeah Ufri Apedwa Junction ko wanim kakra say 4 major bypasses yeah so we are looking for a few challenges to ridicule the performance tracker. But the bottom line is Ejumano ewo and Ghanaians are seeing it. It's a baba buying a basso no Ejumasu and why the small challenges yen fix it. Na ye miemu yen for being so meka na the interface in terms of the user experience and so ye improve na sebe ukutaw app ukutaw internet so na obeko website and so say app the user interface no bibia anya yi perfect
very well
na yen koyanim oma badwuma so ye mo ma baso no mo tonko so no mo nye bio na yen pagya oman no when it comes to accountability to the next level. How many countries now we need obi
what performance
tracker to that level, to the community level, to the district level, to the constituency level, to the regional level, and to the national level. Catch me. A by way, I am manifest. Now posterity will be kind to Akufo-Addo
and political aid to the Vice President Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia and I'm what is here no aiding come on. Yeah, the Jumedi no ABC Dr.